In this episode, we're going to speak to Kunal and we're going to discuss how you can make money as a student. So let's get straight into it. So Kunal, please give yourself an intro. Most people know who you are already, but for those few people who don't, please give yourself an intro.
Well, first of all, thanks a lot for having me, Eddie. And hey everyone, I'm Kunal. As of 2022 March, I am a senior and undergraduate. So I'm a student and I work at CIVO as a developer advocate. I have my own YouTube channel and I run a community called Community Classroom. Apart from that, I've been involved in a lot of communities like Microsoft Learn Student Ambassadors, GitHub Campus Experts. I'm a CNCF ambassador and I'm also an MLH coach. And I have had some previous experiences as well with like Google Summer of Code, both as a mentor and a mentee, LFX mentorship programs from like the Linux Foundation, the MLH Fellowship. I worked with the team for a year and a few more.
You have done so much and I really love your story and I really want to focus on the parts that earn you money. So we can probably mention the others definitely, but let's help the people that are watching in how they can make a bit of money on the side. So where should we start at the beginning? So how, as a student, how did you first making a bit of money on the side? Was that your YouTube channel? Was that one of the programs that you went to? And which steps and programs helped you get that? Because they obviously didn't you didn't wake up and it happened overnight. You worked hard to do this. So I'm really keen to show people maybe what they should do and maybe what they should avoid as well.
So since you're talking about students, I'm going to share with you broad, straight facts. Don't worry about making money. So I'm not saying don't worry, okay? Let me complete my sentence. Worrying comes in stages, right? So oftentimes I get asked a question, how do I get a job in this company? How do I make it to FANG? But that particular student who is asking me this question does not even know how to write a single line of code. So if you don't know anything, if you're just starting out, the title of the video is as a student, right? So if you're just starting out in tech, you don't know anything, you want to learn stuff, should your concern be about getting skilled or should your concern be about getting money? Obviously, get skilled first, right? Money will come later on. So I'm not saying don't worry about getting money. This particular thing, it comes in stages. First, you have to worry about being capable of, having skills and, having a portfolio, having some work that you can do. So worry about that first. Now, okay, I've learned web development, I've contributed to open source, I've made a portfolio, I have a resume. Now I get to worry about how to get a job. Now I get to worry about how to make money. So the first part of making money as a student is see when to worry about it. Don't worry about it right now. Worry about the prerequisites. You have to worry about the prerequisites first. So I worry in stages in life, right? It makes sense as well. Like it does not make sense to worry about something that you don't already have the prerequisite for.
Such great tips. I love that. And your story is such a great example and really inspirational to people that they can do it too. What was the first step you did to make money? And what do you think there were the things you did before that helped you do that? Help you achieve it? Was it open source? Obviously there was probably a variety of things, but what were the key things that made the biggest impact?
Yeah, open source, definitely.
Yes.
Everything I have achieved, I owe to open source. And the first stipend I got was, I was teaching at a programming bootcamp. So I got a stipend for that. It was not that much, but it was like, at that time, it was my first stipend, so for me that was like a lot.
But we've all got to start somewhere, and I think that's great, right? Once you start doing something or getting something, you can then scale it further. And I think that's breaking that ice, because then you have to worry about potentially, bank accounts, taxes, paperwork, and all the rest. So I think everyone should probably just focus on getting that one piece of income, no matter how big or small it is, and then they can scale it from there.
Yeah, and then after that, again, I got selected in like Google Summer of Code. So they paid around $3,000 at that time, which was a lot of money for an undergraduate. That helped me. I bought a laptop from it and I saved the rest. But I did not do Google Summer of Code for the money. And that is something you should not do either. Open source programs like this are designed to get new contributors in the community. So for example, even after my GSOC period, I was active in the project. I was a mentor in that same project for another 2 years. I could have done Google Summer of Code again and gotten the stipend again, but I chose not to because I wanted to give others a chance as well. I'm not saying like this is as a this as a means of income that you can make as a student. These are more open source programs, and that's what they should be, and they reward you for the hard work you do. But now, speaking of making money, speaking about like right now, I started making money like last year, end of sophomore year, and YouTube helped in that. So like I make videos on YouTube and ad revenue that helps. So one thing that I always share with folks is, if you're a student in tech, make a YouTube channel, because it's first of all, it's easy. It's not that difficult. It will help you in networking. It will help you in your presentation skills, and it will help you in personal branding also. So if you are a student, start a YouTube channel. Don't worry much about it. Just get started. Don't have to be perfect. Apart from that, I did internships. So I got stipend from like internships, and now I'm working at Civo since last May 2021, I believe, and that has been amazing.
That sounds really interesting. Let's dig more into that. So how did you get into Civo? Did they approach you? Did you apply to something? Did you contribute to their open source project? I'm very interested in how that got started.
The most amazing platform, Twitter. So got roles on Twitter. I just talked to someone there, and actually lost a Google internship to coronavirus. And then I was like, okay, I had this offer, but now they're not hiring anyone from internationally because of COVID. So I posted on LinkedIn about it, and that particular post got around 3 million views and 45,000 likes. Wow. And seeing that post, then folks looked at my profile and they offered me a lot of roles and stuff. And on Twitter, I got connected with Sayam, and he was like, you have a great profile. And I talked to him about any roles that may be open. And at that time, I was looking for like tech, some software development role or whatever. But he introduced me to developer advocacy and stuff, which is also a tech sort of role, but it's more like a balance. And now I've been with them since like last year, and trust me, I've turned down a lot of offers for Civo just because I love the company, I love the culture, I love what we are building, I love the people, and it's like they have supported me, and they keep supporting everyone, not just me. Everyone in the team supports each other. I think like it's great, and to be quite frank, it's much more than any company in India that can offer remote work. That's why I love working remotely, because you can earn in dollars and then you can spend in rupees, for example. So for example, no fan company in India can even come close to what remote jobs offer me. Not just me, my friends as well. It opened my eyes. Like, the culture is great, and you get to flexible working hours, and team is very supportive, and you getting to work on such amazing technologies. For example, I'm not saying working at a big tech company is not good. I'm not saying that. It's great, and I highly encourage you to apply, because if you have that big tech company in your resume stuff, it's a very good value for your future as well. But I think it depends on country to country and personal preferences to personal preferences. And I would pick working at a remote startup any day than working at a big tech company in India.
No, that makes sense. Thank you so much for sharing your experience on that and being so honest. I think that's important. But you're absolutely right about, I think, the culture is important, and to get the extra 30-40%, I've made that mistake in my career before where I wanted the extra 30-40%, but then it took me to burn out. I hated my job. I hated going into work, where I love what I do. So that became really, really hard. And you mentioned that after college, you're going to join them full time as well. So that's great. So you've already got that longer term plan, and I think that's really awesome. So what you're doing for them is developer advocacy, is that correct?
Yeah, I'm a developer advocate right now, and when I join full time, I'll be a developer relations manager. It's like a point of contact for everything DevRel at Civo. I'm excited, and lots to learn, lots to contribute.
I see more and more people getting into DevRel from college and students. And I think that's great. It's quite a new-ish role, or it's not new. It's been around for a while. Maybe didn't have that title, companies didn't really believe in it so much. And so now I see a lot of companies making sure that's really, really important. So what suggestions do you have for people who want to get into DevRel, who want to do it as a job? So we've mentioned content creation. Are there any other tips you advise them to do? Obviously, we mentioned open source as well. This is me. But any other tips if they want to do that for a company? Should they do it before? Should they start on their own personal branding and do that for themselves before they try and apply to a role?
Yeah, most definitely. So DevRel is not something like you wake up every day and I want to do DevRel. You can get started any day, but it's like a set of practice. It's not like confined to one role. There's lots of definitions, but to get started, just be active in the communities. See what sort of things you want to be advocating, right? A developer advocate is like a developer's best friend. So your role is going to be, you're going to be like the bridge between the customers and your team. And it's also like developer advocacy, there's two strands to it. Like there's an internal developer advocacy and an outward. So you have to, sort of like communicate within your team as well, and share feedback, customer feedback, and work on documentation and just improve the overall process. And then there's the outward, where you interact with the community outside your company. So to answer your question, just getting started, be active and showcase your skills like blogging, content creation, people skills, networking, submit CFPs, give talks, educate others, and just network with a lot of people. So open source and learning in public definitely helps. I got into DevRel without knowing that I was in DevRel. And not just me, I know many people who did that. I'm doing this thing for free and now I'm getting paid for it. So that's great. I'm getting paid for things that I am very good at and I love doing.
That's really important. Getting paid to do something that you would do for free anyway, but now you're getting paid to do it and you enjoy it. I think that's super important. How do you manage your time with all of these things? Because there's a lot of things to do. I mean, I know how hard it is to create content. It's not hard, but I know how time consuming it can be. How to reply to notifications on Twitter and YouTube, and you must get many more than me as well. So how do you manage all that, as well as with your studies and as well as with your work?
I believe it's important to keep yourself first and set priorities. My priorities are obviously my work, like where I work right now, because I work for the company. So the company work that comes first. And then college as well. That's also a priority. I have to give my exams to get that degree. And the other community stuff that I'm doing, that all comes after that. So if at any particular point of time I feel stressed, I would just stop all the community work that I'm doing, turn off my YouTube, turn off my Twitter, LinkedIn, don't even care. My health comes first, right? And that's how it should be. And when I get time, then I create my channel, like I create content and I do community events and I work community initiatives. There are some exceptions, like whenever Eddie asks me to do something, I had 8 meetings today, but still I got on a call with Eddie because, as I mentioned, support people who supported you. So exceptions are there, but yeah, one more thing, important to take breaks. So I've been getting into traveling now. So I travel and it's a very nice stress buster. So I think it's very important to not care about what other people say. I know folks are begging me, please upload videos. I can't do that so fast. And one single tutorial that is around 3 to 4 hours long takes an entire day to create, and I just don't have the time for that right now. I will do it on my own. So it's just like, put yourself first, put your health first, and you don't owe anyone anything if you're doing it for like free. Even in open source, no one is going to be like, do this, make a PR right now. You are, it's mandatory to do. Please do it right now. No. Or you can't even force someone to review your PR. PRs keep they are in the pending state for months and months and months. So when I was not having a full-time job or whatever, I was busy working on my YouTube and community and stuff. But now that I have a lot of things, I'm prioritizing those first. So that's a little bit about time management. Prioritize things.
Kunal, thank you so much for sharing your experience and your tips. I know this is going to help so many people. I know you're busy, so I really appreciate taking the time out to do this. So many great tips there. I know it's going to encourage many people to realize that they can do multiple things and earn money while they're at college, and then have like this runway already set up for when they leave college, like you have done with Civo. Any last closing notes or remarks you'd like to add? Of course, everyone do check out Kunal's amazing community and YouTube channel, link in the description below.
There's like millions of developers in the world and everyone has a different story. So the only thing that proves is that there's no one path to success. Try out different things, see what works for you. If you work hard, if you have a good portfolio, if you network with the right people, and if you spend your time, utilize it wisely, then I'm not sure why you won't be successful, because There's a lot of opportunities in tech. Tech is booming, so many new things coming out every month and week. The only thing standing between you and the opportunities is the skill set. So work hard, study, and network with the right people, and then you'll get the roles. And yeah, do what works best for you, and good luck.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. But let me, oh God, I can't even talk today. Sorry, it's late in the evening. Too much sun. My signature pose. You ready? 3, 2, 1.